Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm here for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 9, Episode 19. The season finale is next week, but of course, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to still deal with the fucking 3-part reunion. Let that sink in. Anyways, we start the episode off, with Candy, her, Todd, and Carmen. They're in the OLG gang why I say OLG gang? OLG restaurant. And they're trying to get things together for the whole restaurant preview that they're going to do, and they're talking about where they're going to place all of Aunt Nora, Aunt Bertha, and Mama Joyce's pictures. And Candy's like, well, you can't have one picture standing out more than the other. You know how they do. And Todd is like, I mean, come on, every group has the lead has a lead singer or whatever, and he was like, Aunt Bertha, the Beyonce of the group. And I was like, ooh, Todd, you better not say that. You finally on their good side. You better not say that, child. So anyways, they go outside, and Todd has these ugly ass orange chairs or whatever. And Candy apparently wasn't feeling it either, and she's like, it doesn't go with the color scheme. And she's like, I wish you would have talked to me first. You would talk to me first before making decisions, because had it been the other way around, you would have a problem. And pretty much he's like, I eat, breathe, sleep, and shit OLG. So what I say goes, pretty much is what he was saying. And my whole thing is, Todd, I like you and everything, but ain't Candy, most of her money going up for this restaurant? I'm just saying, I know you've been there, around the clock or whatever, with the contractors and all that other stuff, but I'm just saying. So anyways, Don Juan shows up, he's trying to ask, what Todd needs or something. He was asking Todd, and Todd telling him, don't worry about it, we'll get that, figured out tomorrow and everything. And pretty much he just wants to do everything by himself. So moving on, we get Sheree. She's at the Chateau with the contractors and everything, and Kenya shows up, and surprisingly they're in a better place since the Hawaii trip. Sheree, Kenya asks Sheree, how are things with Bob, and Sheree is like, it's not the same since the trip. And Sheree is asking about Matt and everything, and Kenya is like, I'm just done with Matt. He's always turning into the Incredible Hulk, and I don't have time to wait to see if he's going to mature. And she's like, the sex was good, but I've had better. I said, girl, I kind of started to wonder for a minute, as much shit that you was putting up with. So anyways, she's saying, no, not Kenya. Sheree is saying that she's going to be able to move in within a couple of days or whatever. And Kenya's like, girl, you still got cars and stuff out here, and contractors and whatnot. But Sheree is like, I'm moving in a couple of days, and that's what it is. And she lets Kenya know that she's going to have a housewarming party soon. So anyways, moving on from that, we get Peter and Todd. Todd picks Peter up from the airport. Peter is coming into town to support the restaurant preview. And, Todd, he's like, yeah, Apollo's supposed to be calling me sometime today, man. And as they're having the conversation, just so happens Apollo calls. Okay, bravo. So anyways, Todd is telling him about the restaurant, and he's like, yeah, man, I wish you were here or whatever. And Apollo was like, yeah, I wish I was here too, but I'm gonna have my lady there to represent and everything. And Peter and Todd, they like, what? They like, what she looked like and everything, this, that, and the third. And Apollo is like, you gotta upgrade or whatever. And I was like, oh, that was dirty. That was dirty, Apollo. That was dirty. So anyways, we get to Phaedra. And, she's with the kids and, with her parents to go get some yogurt. Her birthday is coming up, so, she's going to have her parents watch the kids and everything. Lil Dylan was being a brat, a badass, talking back and doing all this carrying on that he was doing. And, she says how her parents, believe in the sanctity of marriage or whatever, but at the same time they also believe in, having, if it's necessary to get a divorce or whatever, and they agree that Phaedra has made the best decision, whatever. Back to Peter and Todd for a minute. They tell Apollo that no, we haven't seen the boys. We're probably not going to see the boys until you come home or whatever. And so yeah, back to Phaedra. Is it back to Phaedra? No, I'm sorry. No, we still back to Todd and Peter. So according to Apollo, he's saying that Phaedra told him that everything was put on hold or whatever, but with the whole divorce proceeding. But then he got served with the papers. And Peter is like, so she tried to trick you or some shit. And he like, hell yeah, but I'm gonna fight, for what's mine and everything, for what belongs to me and everything, this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, Apollo, but I don't know exactly what you gave to the relationship besides maybe good dick and a headache. Like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, what did you put into the relationship? Like, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, Peter is sitting here saying how Phaedra always talking holy, this, that, and the third, but really she's a con artist or whatever. And he feels like Phaedra never loved him. Now I told y'all last week that it's come out that in fact that Phaedra and Apollo are not divorced, and they got to start the whole divorce proceeding all over again because the judge saw it unfair or something like that. But yeah, so they're not divorced. So anyways, we get Cynthia. She's talking to Noelle, pretty much telling her that her divorce is finalized. And Noelle's asking her like, how you feel? And Cynthia, she's not really sure. She's like that she's relieved, but emotional at the same time. Then we get Peter. I don't know who this person was that he had driving him, but he had somebody driving him. Uber life, child. I don't know. Somebody was driving him. And he tells the driver to stop by, the old house that him and Cynthia shared together. And, he's like reflecting a little bit. And he thought that he was going to live in the house for a long time. He didn't know that forever would end so soon. Then we get back to Cynthia. And Kenya calls her. She tells Kenya the news about her being officially divorced and everything, but she lets it be known that she's not, going to let the ladies know just yet, because the next time that she's actually going to see Peter is at Candy and Todd's restaurant preview. So she doesn't want to make it about her or whatever. She just wants everybody to enjoy their time and everything. And Kenya's like, do you feel like he's going to be weird about it? Or and Cynthia's like, if he's okay about it, then I'll be okay, but if he's acting awkward or whatever, then I don't know. I'm gonna feel kind of awkward. So we're back with Candy, and it's the day before the preview. Excuse me, Candy, she shows up because Todd was already there or whatever, and she's looking at the floor. She's like, the floor's still dirty, like, when are the cleaning people coming? And they tell her that the cleaning people are coming at 8 o'clock that night. And Candy is like that, that it could have been done had Todd accepted help. Her, Don Juan, and Carmen, they could have all pitched in had he accepted the help. Now everything is going to be scattered and last minute, and Don Juan is telling her about everything that still has to be done. He don't know if he can get the people to get the I think, what was it, the CO, I guess, like the license or whatever for like the drinks and everything. Candy, she's not pleased, and she's like, how much over budget are we? And he's like, 100,000 over, and I was just like, that's a lot of money to be over budget. I'm just saying, I really hope, because like I think I told you last week, the restaurant, from my understanding, is open or whatever, and it seems like it's good reviews so far from what I've been seeing. I just hope and pray that this restaurant doesn't like shake their marriage, like kind of like how Peter's restaurants and stuff kind of shook him and Cynthia's marriage and everything. I hope that you know, everything is good and they, you know, be successful. So yeah. So anyways, Candy is saying that she wants the girls to be like, wow, this is the shit, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that it looks like shit, you know, because she doesn't want to give the girls ammo to talk shit about the restaurant, and I don't blame her. I understand how, you know, I understand where she's coming from where she says that, because this is a shady bunch of females, you know what I'm saying? Especially, you know, Kenya and Sheree, with them going back and forth with their houses and whatnot. And, you know, Todd, he reassures her that everything's going to be all right and not to worry. So we get Sheree. She's moving out of her condo. They've been in it for 4 years, you know, since they was living in the old house with Bob or whatever. And, you know, Sheree, she decided to, you know, build the house or whatever, because she wanted to do something herself and, you know, not depend on anybody and everything. And, you know, how she knows her worth now and all this other stuff. Now, that's all fine and dandy. But when I hear Sheree say this, me as a 22-year-old woman, you know, I can't really look at her and be like, oh man, I hope I could be able to do something like that one day, because she's sitting up here, you know, trying to live like the Joneses on the Good Times budget. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? It's like, Sheree needs to learn how to live within her means. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you might not have as much as some of the other ladies, that doesn't make you less of a woman. You know what I mean? Like, all that materialistic shit don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? And it's just, I can't look at her and be like, oh yeah, like, I want to do something like that in a way, because I ain't trying to sit up here and have motherfuckers suing me like people suing her right about now, all these contractors and all this other stuff. And then, you know, you 4 years later building this shit, and then from what we know, the shit still ain't built all the way. And I don't know, I don't think she's still in that house, right? You know what I'm saying? And then I'm hearing that the contractor's trying to make her sell the house. Girl, I can't. I can't. I'm stressing out just thinking about the shit, and it's not even me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, I don't know with Sheree. Anyways, moving on, we get Portia. She's on the phone with Lauren. Pretty much she's going to do a little something for Phaedra at her house or whatever for her, you know, 40th birthday. We get, you know, on the other side of town, Candy, and they're all preparing for, you know, it's like hours before the little preview of the OLG. And Candy shows up. Aunt Nora and Aunt Bertha, they show up. They still waiting for Mama Joyce. She the real Beyonce of they little group, if you ask me. But anyways, you know, gotta be all divified and fashionably late and all that other stuff. So then we get Cynthia. Shamia shows up. And do y'all notice that under Shamia's name, it doesn't say Portia's best friend anymore. It says Candy's friend. Okay, so anyways, then Sheree shows up. Aunt Bertha, you know, she poking fun at Todd, and she was like, you know, I thought Todd was a janitor at first. You know, I seen him sweeping and everything. And, you know, Candy, she's reflecting on when, you know, her aunts and her mom didn't like Todd at first or whatever, and how they have came a long way. I'm like, yes, thank you, Lord. I'm glad that they all get along now, because that shit was irking me. Okay, so, anyways, Mama Joyce finally shows up, and she is not wearing what they apparently told her to wear, which was black and white, along with Aunt Nora and Aunt Bertha. They like, oh, you trying to be the diva and everything. Like, Mama Joyce trying to act all surprised, like I think she knew that she was supposed to wear black and white, and she just ain't want to wear it. But anyway, so, you know, Don Juan wants them to move, you know, like downstairs or something like that. So he throws a little shade. He was like, can y'all move to the sex dungeon for me? And Cynthia, she caught on all late, and, you know, she cracking up or whatever. Then we get back to Phaedra and Portia. You know, Phaedra shows up to Portia's house, and they both have on a frickin' frack onesie and everything. I ain't gonna lie, I thought that was kind of cute. Portia sits up here and claims how the other girls are dry or whatever, and how her and Phaedra bring it. I said, well, explain to us why your girl was being so dry when Kenya was trying to, throw that little party for her. I mean, I'm just saying. But anyways, Phaedra, she sits up here and claims how she knows Portia is coming from a good place, unlike Kenya, and blah 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 or whatever. And they're trying on Portia has Phaedra trying on her wigs and her outfits and stuff like that. And I ain't gonna lie, it did look like it was fun to do that and everything with somebody that you are friends with or whatever. So anyways, we're back to the OLG preview. Peter, he shows up and he's being weird, he's being weird with Cynthia and everything. And I'm just like, Cynthia, girl, just give it time. Just give it time. He's going to go through these motions right now because now y'all done, signed the divorce papers and everything. So just give it some time, girl. Candy, she's on the stage paying homage to Todd for, getting everything together. Todd is, he asks, Candy to sing or whatever, and I'm like, no. Y'all remember her old introduction, and she used to be like, oh, in that moment I was like, no. Listen, y'all, I fuck with Candy, but her singing ain't what it used to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes she be kind of shaky or whatever, so yeah, I was just like, I don't know. But anyways, they asked if Portia and Phaedra are coming, and Candy is like, I mean, I invited Phaedra, I ain't invite Portia or whatever. Phaedra, she's telling Portia that it's her birthday and everything. Pretty much that's why she didn't go to the opening. But she doesn't have any ill will towards Candy. She just knows that at this point it's like a wrap on their friendship. But they gonna always be cordial. So then Apollo's girl shows up or whatever, and she's like, hey, she's like, hey, are you Todd and everything? And he like, yeah. And she's like, I'm Apollo's girlfriend. And Todd and Peter, they acting all fake surprised as if they didn't know that she was coming. Like Todd, he's like, I mean, I didn't know she was gonna come for real. Yeah, you did. Andy and Carlos King told y'all motherfuckers she was coming for real. Stop playing, okay? So anyways, I ain't even gonna put that on Andy. I'm gonna put that on Carlos, because that really seemed like some shit that he would do. So anyways, she's telling them how, Apollo wishes he was there, and she says that her and Apollo, they found love. And she's saying that, when Todd had asked her, like, how exactly did y'all meet? So she pretty much kind of pussyfoot around the question or whatever. So anyways, her name is Shireen, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that, but yeah, her name is Shireen. Todd brings her over, and Todd is like, this is Shireen Nida, and they like, the girls, they're like, what? And he's like, soon to be Mrs. Nida and everything, and she's here for Apollo. And Kenya, she like, hold on, Todd, switch seats with me, child, because I'm hard of hearing. I was cracking up when Kenya did that shit. I ain't gonna lie, I probably would have did the same thing. I'm just saying. But anyway, so Kenya is like that, Phaedra talked all that shit about me or whatever, and here's the infamous side chick right here. And so, Shireen sitting up here talking about something, Candy and Todd have been so supportive of me and Apollo since he's been away. And Candy like, hold on, motherfucker, we've been supportive of him. We ain't know shit about your ass, okay? Not like that, And Candy is like, she's saying that Phaedra gonna swear up and down that me and this girl was in cahoots, but I didn't know that she was gonna be here and everything. And they ask her, about her relationship with Apollo, and she's like, her and Apollo have been friends for 4 years. That's the first, And Candy is like, so when did y'all become more than just friends, before or after he went to jail? And she was like, well, I mean, I've been there more than Phaedra or whatever. And she's like, Phaedra has only been there twice or something like that. And Candy, she's like, Phaedra could have been here tonight, right? And Shireen is like, I mean, Apollo has been gone for 2 years, and like I said, she said that she's only been up there twice to see him. And she's like that the jail is 40 minutes away from her home, so she's always up there. Peter, he has to go. He's like, got a blast. I'm like, oh, Peter, you don't want to stay around for this tomfoolery? I am shocked. He's sitting up here talking something, I'm tired or whatever. And Todd is like, man, go over there and give Cynthia some love and everything. So he hugs her or whatever, and he skedaddles. And Shireen, she's like, because Apollo, he's once again so happened to be calling or whatever, and she's like, OMG, it's my baby Apollo or whatever. And I'm just like, that's exactly how I would have been at that table. I would have been like, like, excuse me, I think I got to throw up. Like, I was just like, ooh, girl, what I'm saying? Like, she talking like she know them like that already, like she know the whole crew and stuff like that. So anyways, Candy is like, she really don't want to be involved with this fuck shit. He congratulates them on the restaurant, and Candy is like, she tells him like, look, I've always fucked with you or whatever, and it's obvious that's caused problems between me and Phaedra, but I feel awkward me and your girlfriend or whatever, no offense to you because you're nice or whatever. And you and Phaedra just got a divorce, like it seems messy. And Apollo is like, I don't give a fuck about your relationship with Phaedra. I'm like, oh, fuck Candy's feelings then, okay? Like, why don't you, And he's like, they ain't got shit to do with me and Shireen. And they all are like, they're like, if the divorce is final, and he's like, no or whatever, and they all like, what? Like, the divorce is not final and everything. And he's like, they're still processing the paperwork or whatever, this, that, and the third. And the phone hung up, and she's like, Shireen, she's like, oh, my baby's gone. And Candy is like, Shireen, she heads out or whatever. Candy is like, yeah, they were definitely friends before he went in and everything. Kenya, she's just upset at this point because Phaedra is always lying, and she don't trust anything to come out her mouth at this point. That pretty much was the episode. I apologize if I was all over the place, but make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys come back, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.